The International Labour Organization estimates that there are 40.3 million victims of human trafficking globally. 81% of them are trapped in forced labor, 25% of them are children, and 75% are women and girls. It's easy to believe trafficking is happening elsewhere, and to believe it is something we don't need to look for in our own communities. But unfortunately, it is. That is why I'd like to address the debate team today to help you all understand human trafficking better. First, we'll examine how trafficking happens. Next, we'll discuss how you can recognize the warning signs. And finally, we'll learn about ways you can work to end human trafficking in your community and around the world. Pimps are skilled at recognizing signs of vulnerability in young people. In 2017, an estimated 1 out of 7 endangered runaways reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children were likely child sex trafficking victims. Pimps therefore exhibit such behavior, being jealous, controlling, and violent, being significantly older than their female companions, promising things that seem too good to be true, encouraging victims to engage in illegal activities to achieve their goals and dreams, buying them expensive gifts or owning expensive items, being vague about their profession, being pushy or demanding for sex, encouraging inappropriate sexual behavior, and making the victim feel responsible for his or her financial stability. Next, we'll examine the warning signs that an individual is being trafficked. According to Shared Hope International, these include signs of physical abuse such as burn marks, bruises, or cuts, unexplained absences from class, less appropriately dressed than before, sexualized behavior, overly tired in class, being withdrawn, depressed, distracted, or checked out, bragging about making or having lots of money, and displays of expensive clothes, accessories, or shoes. If you recognize any of these signs, you should not approach a victim. You could be endangering the person you intend to help. Instead, you should call local law enforcement or one of these numbers and describe the situation. Now, while trafficking is a pressing issue, it may not be something you have recognized or ever will recognize, but you can still make an impact through the following ways. First, you can volunteer with nonprofits such as the Safe Center right here at UMD that aims to help victims of human trafficking and empower them to seek help. There are also nonprofits in Washington, D.C., such as Fairgirls, that you can donate to, volunteer at, or intern with. Finally, I can encourage you all to consider how in your career you might empower victims and help to combat human trafficking, whether you're working for the Department of State, the Department of Justice, or in legal advocacy, as many of you are considering going to law school. It's important to consider how in our everyday lives we can take time to empower victims and consider these important issues. So thank you for your time, and I hope I've given you something to